cloud. Okay. So this is the let's see, let me get my date right here. The September 20th, 2023 Shutesbury Cemetery Commissioners meeting starting at, I've got 6:17, Susan.
Yeah,
Happy equinox, everybody.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Whether we like it or not, fall is here. All right. So, as Susan said, we had a kind of a full agenda. Hopefully things will move a little quick, but we'll start with the review and approve of the minutes of the August 16th, 2023 minutes that were emailed out from Susan. I did look through them and I didn't see any corrections or omissions.
I
think
didn't
they're
either.
good.
You organized them a little differently, and this was really easy to read.
Yeah.
Hey, did you folks see the task list that I sent out ahead of a couple weeks
Yes.
ago?
I did, and did I open it until this morning? No.
No, I did.
But what I
did.
found was, oh, good. I was in touch with the guy from the radar mapping. Yay!
Yeah, it was helpful to get that a little early. So I went through it and said, oh yeah, what was I supposed to do again?
Glad it was helpful because it was
Very
easier to
helpful.
send out than a real formal minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what I did with my task list, but I had it here. All right. So we have the minutes. We'll need a motion to.
I'll move to accept the minutes.
All right, I'll second those. Any other discussion, corrections, omissions, errors to the minutes?
No, I'm so grateful someone else does this.
Me too. All right. Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Dina,
Aye.
Susan,
Aye.
and Walter, I also. So the minutes have been approved. New burials and lot sales. I think at this point, the only thing that has happened was we did do the burial the other Saturday for Reed's up in the Locks Pond Cemetery. And that went very well. They were very appreciative of how everything went, and they were very happy. So
Oh, good.
Yeah.
and as I recall, I think that's the only thing that's happened in any sales or burials at this point since last month.
Well, it's nice to have a quiet time.
Yes, a little bit. I've needed it. All right. Hiring new groundskeepers. First thing under that status of groundskeeper Linus Miriam, I contacted him and he sent me an email back, apologetic that he didn't answer sooner, and also apologetic that he is also not going to continue doing the cemetery commission. He has got, his life is so busy. He said, I only got to the cemeteries once this year. He says, and frankly, all the other things I do pay so much more than that job. He says, I'm sorry. I like doing it, but I don't have the time. I don't want to commit to it. So that means of our existing 3 groundskeepers, we're going to be losing all of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that brings us to the job description. I was asked to kind of update that, and I was asked to do it along with the personnel committee, but I don't think they've met at all. I didn't see them on the agenda. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Didn't see it, but they haven't contacted me either yet with that. So what I did is I took the existing job description that had been last updated in August of 2001. Wow. So 22 years ago, and decided to kind of look at how things work now. I mean, I left a lot of it the same. Most of the things we changed were in the essential duties and responsibilities. And that basically said, mow lawns. So I put to include string trimming around gravestones, because
Right.
that's a very important and time-consuming part.
Yep.
Added cuts and to remove fallen brush and branches, or remove brush and fallen branches. So it's now reads mow lawns, including string trimming around gravestones, cuts and removes brush and fallen branches, added blows and removes fallen leaves. Can changed it. It had something about monitoring for vandalism or in charge of repairs of gravestones, which I don't think the groundskeeper should be doing. That really should be us. So it says I
Right.
changed it to say monitor gravestones and monuments for damage and decay, because they're seeing them every time they mow.
Yeah.
Monitors for vandalism. Attend cemetery. Here's one that I added that I think was pretty important. Attend cemetery commission meetings to give commissioners updates on needs, damages, maintenance issues, equipment, and etc.
Yeah.
And we can set that timeline, whether we want it once a quarter or once every 2 months or every meeting, whatever. Added may perform minor maintenance on equipment. I think it was in there that they performed the maintenance on the equipment, which really wasn't happening. So I put may perform minor maintenance on the equipment, may perform minor repair to gravestones and markers after proper training, because we did have that. We did have Susan Young trained in doing that, and she did about 100 of the smaller footstones and headstones in the really old part of the cemetery right close to Leverett Road. A lot more needs to be done, but it'd be nice if we could get somebody that's interested in doing that. And then had left maintains an inventory of equipment. Everything else I left pretty much the same until work environment. And I added, while performing the duties of this job, the employee works with power equipment, such as a riding mower, push mower, string trimmer, chainsaws, and brush saw, because those are all equipment that we have. And we didn't want somebody saying, hey, that wasn't in my job description. I'm not going to do that. Although there is guidelines that say these duties above are intended only as an illustration of the various types of work that may be performed. The omission of a specific statement of duties does not exclude them from the position if the work is similar, related, or a logical assignment to the position. So that does kind of cover it, but I figured we'd, just make it a little clearer of what the job is. So
good additions, Walter.
Okay, thank you. I think it kind of really adds to what we've been seeing. They've been, the groundskeepers have been doing over the years. The one thing that I left in there, and it's not really for us to change, and a lot of people don't realize this, I'm not sure if you guys did or not, but under the direction, the position summary is under the direction of the cemetery commission and in cooperation with the DPW highway under superintendent. The cemetery groundskeeper is responsible for mowing the upkeep of the 3 cemeteries in Shutesbury. And that has been in there, I think, originally because of it was Gary Dillman, who was the highway superintendent, that really started that when they started doing all these groundskeepers, and he was the groundskeeper then and on the cemetery commission, that it was kind of thrown under the public works and as well as the cemetery. So it is in there. It's good to know. Like Steve says, well, really, I've known it's been there. I don't think Tim thought of that it was, but there are things that we can do as a highway department here too to help out, because it is under our supervision. So that's good. Well, hold on just a second. Can you guys hear a lot in the background? Okay.
Not a lot.
Not a lot.
Okay.
It's
all
not
right. Not to try. Okay.
About it. Well,
okay. Very good. All right. I just wanted to make sure. All right. So I'm going to take, if we want, I don't know if we need to vote on this these amendments, the job description. I guess we could, that makes it more official. And then I'll take that to the personnel committee as to what the new, what the update should be. And then we gotta work on the advertisement. I was gonna try to do that beforehand, but before this meeting, that's one thing I didn't get to doing. So I guess I'm not really supposed to do it as the chair, but I'll make a motion that we accept the changes and additions to the cemetery groundskeeper job description.
Second.
Seconded.
Okay. Any further discussion?
No,
Okay,
I found this quite clear.
Mhm.
very good. All right, so we'll do a roll call vote. Dina,
I,
Susan,
Aye.
and I'll vote aye also. Or should I abstain because I did the work, but that's all right.
No, I would, I think you need to vote too.
Okay, so I will bring that to, I guess I gotta bring it to Becky first, because that's the contact for the personnel committee. And then we'll see what we can work through and get that moving. The next thing would be, and I guess I gotta work with Becky to do that, is the actual advertisement. I guess with the new job description, it will help it be able to write up the advertisement, but I know it's getting kind of late in the year to start this, but we gotta start looking at doing something,
yeah,
or we're gonna be in trouble.
Well, it's only September. If we can get it out in the next couple of weeks, I don't think it's too late.
Right, yeah. It's not actually, I forgot to add this to this about hiring new groundskeepers, but it was in discussion and on our task list to check into some landscaping companies to see what they would do. I did call Grassroots and talk to the owner there. Because I did hear that they do one of the cemeteries in Leverett. And when I told him what it was, he says, yep, we're very familiar with the cemetery and that type of work. He says, but right now I don't have enough employees to do the work that I have. And there is absolutely no way we could take that on.
right.
So he said, love to, I appreciate the call, appreciate you thinking about us, but there's absolutely no way we can do it.
Okay.
So I guess over the next couple of weeks, I'll also try to see if there's another, any of the other companies that may be interested in doing it, at least get a price so we can say, okay, we've got so many thousand for groundskeepers, or we got, 10,000 to do it by a company, is it worth it or not? And we'd have to get that money allocated from the town to be able to do it too. So it's one, it's one step. At least we can show that we made the effort to do that.
Yeah. Did Grassroots indicate how much it would cost if they were to take it on?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
I guess I could
Yeah.
ask them, but I could call them up again and ask them, give me a ballpark as to what you think it would cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's probably a lot of factors to think about in pricing a job like that.
Oh yeah.
There are.
Yep. And knowing what some of them get for just doing lawns, 45 minutes or a half hour for doing lawns, it might be quite costly. So, but it doesn't hurt to look into it.
Well, Linus says we don't pay very well. So do you think we should consider upping?
It's something I can talk to the personnel.
What are we paying?
Right now, to tell you the truth, I don't know what the new price is, but I can tell you, I won't lose you, but here, let me pull up. Payroll. Let's see. We can do it this way. Here we go. Right now, this year we're paying $17.02 an hour. 1702, and it's probably a 2.5% raise, so it's not that much more. Mom, I'm having a meeting. Oh, just letting you know. That's what it is. Oh, don't tell me I lost them. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yes, we can
Okay,
see.
hold on. There we go. I had too many things open here and
Oh,
I
I know how
lost
to
you
do
for a
this.
minute. And then I didn't hear anybody, so I was like, oh no, I lost them. Yeah, so 1702 is what we paid this year, which is, it is above minimum wage, but
Not much.
not much. Nope. So I don't know. I can talk to them, see what they'll do, but that again will probably have to go to, I don't know. I've seen at times where they've raised it to one department, but lots of times that has to go to a town meeting too. So
Oh. So how does that compare with what DPW guys get?
I'm not sure. I think they get quite a bit more than that. It depends on their step and grade, because they have to have, they're driving bigger equipment and stuff like that,
Hope they get more than
and
that.
other responsibilities. So
I'm a fan of people being paid a living wage for any work
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yep. I don't know exactly what they're getting an hour, but it's probably closer to more than above $20 an hour, I would say. All right.
Maybe we should look into giving closer to $20 an hour.
Yeah, I can bring it up when we talk about the job description. Let's see, I'm just gonna write it
When
right
you
on
bring
here.
it up, Walter, you can say that you have the support of all of the cemetery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll do that.
And it's significant that Linus quit because it wasn't paying him enough to make it
Right.
worthwhile.
Yep. That's for
That's
sure.
going to be true for everybody. These
Yeah.
jobs get hard.
I'm sure if we were paying a lot more, Susan and Mike might think about it. Even though I think it's just they're both retired now, they want to do different things and all that, not tie up their summer weekends and all, but I think it makes it a lot easier to make that decision when it's not getting paid that much when you're versus getting paid a fairly decent wage. So
I wonder if we were to get an opportunity, if we could raise it, whether we should go back to the 3 and say, hey, we're going to be increasing it to X. Does this make you leaving?
Yeah, we can definitely ask. It never hurts to ask. They might just say, no, it's still not enough, or that's not the reason we quit. I don't know, but we can ask them.
It would be kind of tacky to increase the pay just after they left.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Without letting them know and giving them the option of first.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're staying on to the end of the season, so if we can, I could even just plain out ask them, hey, if we were to be able to get more, would you consider staying?
Right.
And they may say no. They may say, well, we'll think about it. So
yeah.
Find out. All right, the next one, which I have not really done anything more on other than what we had before, was allowing a member of the commission to work as a groundskeeper, or work as and get paid as a groundskeeper. There is a state regulation, and Leslie had given me a copy of what that was. I'm not sure if I have the exact wording here right now, but I did mention that to Becky, that it's something that we've been thinking of and the reason why, and that we need to get it I know it has to be at a special town meeting or a town meeting and all, but we want to get it started to make sure that we at least had the right wording and not be chasing our tails right at the end when we kind of had it all set what we thought we were going to do. So I apologize, I did not work on that, but if anybody has anything to say about that, we'll discuss it. If not, we'll just skip over it until next meeting. Okay,
I think it's great. It's a good idea, and you've
Oh, yeah.
you're doing a lot, Walter. So you know if you
Yeah,
can't.
I spent the other weekend working on the mowers again, putting a new belt on it because the belt broke, and went through them and did kind of a quick service and cleaned them up and all that. So, we'll.
Which I hope you'll tell them when you're talking about the need.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm not afraid to let them know what I've been doing and give it what we've been doing for nothing. All right.
Can I just double check something, Walter, before we
Sure.
change the topic?
Yep.
You're going to talk to Becky before the personnel. Will she send you on to the personnel? Did you say?
Yeah, when you look at the website, town website, and you look under personnel committee, they say the contact for the personnel committee is Becky.
Okay, thank you.
So I will talk to her and see when they're going to be meeting next. It says they meet the third Thursday of every month, which would be tomorrow. And saying that, let me just go to the website and see if it's posted.
Some of these people that, they cut their eyebrows. And then.
Yes, they are listed for tomorrow night. Let's see if we're on this agenda.
They have their.
No, the only thing they have on the agenda is it says opening on the board. Approved minutes of the July 20 meeting, opening on the board, new, and then review changes to highway superintendent job description. So hold on, let me make sure there isn't more. Oh, there is more. Okay. Ongoing personnel handbook policies review and update classification schedules and policies and procedures manual. So we were not put on the agenda for this month. I can call and see, but it's too late to change the agenda, but I don't know if they have
New business or something.
yeah, new business or unanticipated 48 hours prior to the meeting.
Yeah. Right.
So
I imagine they would do that.
yeah. Let me see if I can
They do it.
find the meeting again.
They do it.
There we go.
They-
All right. So I'll have to call Becky tomorrow and see on that.
Thank you.
All right. So then, any other questions on that? Okay. Moving along under the CPC contract and gravestone repair project updates. They finally did sign the contract on September 12th. After my email asking them, I included you guys so you could see, and included it to Mateo, ask him that, we sent this in and submitted it more than a month ago. And we haven't been notified that it's been signed, which only makes me think that it hasn't been. And why not? The response I got back was, and I said, I don't see it on the agenda for the next meeting, so it makes me think that it's not being done. And I did get an email back saying, we haven't finalized the agenda yet. And it was, I guess, finalized just in time to meet the open meeting laws, and we were added to it, and they did sign it. Then when I went to pick it up, they had voted to sign it, but they hadn't actually signed it yet. So then they signed it. So I now have it. I haven't even looked at it other than the date on the front. So we do have it. So in having that in hand, I contacted Tamara again and talked to her. And when I talked to her, she was on her way driving to Ohio to do some seminars.
Yeah.
So Oh, I guess I gotta sign this copy again now. It's like I gave them my signed copy, but they, okay. Good thing I looked. She said that, this year's been a tough year with the way the weather's been. It's made it hard to keep on her projects and all, and plus she's had other things going on, and she had hurt her foot at one point, and it was just a myriad of things. So she said when she got back, she would look at her schedule and see if she could fit it in. But she said, in all reality, depending on what the weather does and how quickly it gets cold, it may be not until next spring. But
Gotcha.
she would give it priority to the schedule next spring if she can't fit it in this fall. So
Well,
that's
that's
what
fair. Really
Yeah.
not, I mean, it's not our fault
no,
that we were so slow getting back to her. And she might, even if we gotten back to her, earlier, she might not have been able to fit it in.
Right.
yeah. I mean, I got back there and told her, left a message with her, told her where we are with the process, but at that point it hadn't been signed, and that was part of what I, what in my email to the select board was, this contract was designed to make sure that projects were done in a timely manner and the money was spent in a timely manner. Says, but we can't really even start and get things done in a timely manner if you haven't signed the contract. So
Their time is sus- I was at that select board meeting, and
Yeah.
because I hear what the lawyer had to say, and I stayed around, and it was really fun to be there when they finally signed our contract or
Yeah.
voted to sign our contract.
yeah.
Quality built in.
Okay. All right, so we're moving ahead with that. We've got the contract. I've contacted Tamara, and it just really depends on weather and all that and her schedule, whether she can get to it this year or not. So, but we've done all that we can do at this point right now.
Yep. Thank you, Walter.
Oh, you're welcome. So now we're up to update on ground penetrating radar. Dina, you got the floor.
I do. And I talked to this guy and he's quite wonderful. And I tried to, and not sure if it send you guys the attachments I had from him. Let's see if I can find that again. It costs gosh, did I actually not write this down when I wrote this down today? I really, oh, there it is, my little piece of paper. I've been so foggy today. So what he would need from us obviously is maps and sort of whatever we've got. He charges, he can do about a half acre a day.
Okay.
He charges $18.50 a day for the first half acre, and subsequent half acres cost $16.50. He would talk to us, he'd want to talk to us about how much of the cemetery we want to do at a time. We can do this over a number of years. To spread out the cost and expense of it, and sort of choose areas that are more critical for us, where we have more questions, and sort of start there.
Okay.
Rather than in areas where graves are close together and we're pretty sure there are bodies under those stones.
Yeah. There's a lot of them that, especially the more modern stuff, we're pretty sure where.
Yeah, we're pretty
accurate.
exactly.
But there are quite a number of lots on the map that just say unknown, and that makes it so, well, we don't know if anybody is there,
really there.
if anybody owns it. It's totally up in the air. And then there were other ones that were said vacant. We know there isn't anybody here. So those would be some of the high priority ones. And some of the ones that there's in question, I'm sure, eventually it'd be nice to do all of them, especially some of the older section, to find out what's there.
He said he'd be willing to come down and meet with us before October 16th. October 16th, he's going to Italy for a month to do this there.
Okay. Wow.
He's in his 70s. He's about to retire. There isn't somebody else doing this work. And we should snag him while we can.
Yeah. But do we have the money right now?
In our expendable trust fund,
It'd be nice to get a grant, but we're already involved in a grant.
oh, look, there's my task list.
We could get another one. I don't know. There might be special money for finding who's where from the New England Cemetery Commission or something.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see how much of the. So, printed out. In our expendable trust fund, we have $10,855.59. That's not counting the last sales, which I don't know if they've been added to this. 'Cause it doesn't look like it's been increased, only decreased. So the last couple sales that we put money in for as of 6:30 here have not. Oh, this was last year. This is 6:30.
You know, last year.
6:30 of 2023. So we had still had close to 11,000.
Does that include the money we got from the Friends of the Historical Society?
No, that does not. That's the expendable trust fund. That's the money that we can spend out of sales of lots and all that. There is, yes. Oh yeah, it does not include the Friends of the Historical Commission. And there's a couple other little ones in there that I don't know if we could finagle a description that said it would fit under some of the leftover monies in different grants or not, but
So there's a grant program through the Secretary of State's office called the Massachusetts Preservation Projects Fund. They gave away over $1 million last year. Would you put on my to-do list, Susan, to do a little bit of research into what grants might be available for sort of ongoing, if we do a bit of this every year for a few years, is there a grant that would support that? So I'd love to do some research about it.
Okay, so I've got the name that it's the Mass Preservation Project Fund, and in which office is it under?
The Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. He's got some funny stuff.
Yeah, they do. But burial stuff goes to the Secretary of State's office when it bumps up.
Sure, in terms of records.
Yeah.
Record data. Yeah.
Exactly. And this is part of that. So they're looking to fund projects that keep things tidy, I think.
This is a tidying project.
This would be a tidying project,
yes,
clearing up the mystery of what is really under there.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, I mean, that way we can actually show people that, we're not just going for town money, we're looking at other things.
Exactly.
And it would really help out next time we come for CPA grants or whatever, that, hey,
exactly,
and all this other stuff too.
The other thing about this that's interesting is, oh God, the thought left my mind. I'm sorry. Move on. This is what my day's been like. My screen just goes blank. It's really.
If anybody asks us why, for a small town, are you pursuing 2 grants for 2 different projects, we can say, well, hey, this guy's getting ready to retire and he has no obvious successor.
Yeah, we have some urgency to use his help while it's available. Also, you're allowed to apply. Little towns are still allowed to apply for more than one project if we have energy, and the projects are concurrent. I mean, they're relevant to one another, right?
Yeah.
We're wanting to repair stones and make the cemetery historically accessible, and this mapping is part of the same thing.
Right, and it helps clear up. I mean, since these maps were made in 95, that's been a gray area in all those lots that they don't know.
Right.
I'm sure they spent some time looking back then to try to figure out, but because they know which ones were vacant and which ones were unknown.
Right.
So it's definitely would help in clearing up some of the foggy mysteries of
It would be a favor to future cemetery commissioners.
yes,
To
definitely
have
would.
less confusion would be a good thing.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, that's less than I really thought it would cost to
It's
do.
less than I thought. How many acres is West Cemetery?
That I'd have to sit down and figure out. It's not.
Is it more than 3?
I don't think so. Well, if you add the whole main part, the front part, and the
The side lot.
Luther Henry part,
Yeah.
I altogether I still don't think we're over 4
Yeah,
acres.
that's what I told him. It was under 4.
And
and-
then the two small ones, Pratt Corner Road and Locks Pond. Locks Pond is probably a 1/4 acre.
Yeah, he could probably do those 2 in one day.
Yeah.
This was a conversation I had to him. I told him, we're not in a terrible rush. So if we need to spread it, he was really happy to hear us say, he was worried that for such a small town, this was a large expense. And I loved that awareness from him
Yeah.
that, we were really going to have to find this money to pay him. And then he started thinking about ways we could sort of minimize the cost. I just
Wow.
was like, oh yes, this is the kind of person we would like to do this project with.
Yep.
I was really encouraged. He wasn't, saying, oh yeah, we'll have to map every grave in the place. He was like, there are going to be sections you don't need to map. So,
Right.
if you have existing maps that we can work off of, then we can really prioritize. I thought he was knowledgeable and friendly and understood the lay of the land about small towns and old cemeteries. So that was really good.
Actually, the whole new section that includes the green burial section, we wouldn't have to map that because that's had accurate records kept.
Exactly.
So that
Yeah.
cuts down quite a bit right there. Yep.
So are there any unknowns in Luther Henry?
Um,
I'm
Are his-
wondering.
I don't think there's anything marked unknown. I'll have to look at the map and see. I think see if every grave has a name, or there may be some that say no, but there's a gravestone there, so they know it's there. And then there are 2 sections in there, fairly large sections, that are verified that there's nothing there, and they're actually for sale. So there
Oh,
are.
they are. There
Yeah.
are lots there.
Yes, there are. Yep. And we actually sold a few years ago. I sold one in that lot. So there is somebody fairly recent within the last. Time goes by too quickly. So I'll say within the last 4 years, somebody was buried there. So
Yeah,
Yep.
he asked for the addresses of the cemeteries. My guess he was going to go look, on a map and
okay.
Where's he
see what he
based?
could see from a satellite of how it's laid out.
Oh.
What?
Do you know where he's based?
New Hampshire somewhere.
Oh, okay. So he's
Yeah.
a neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does he have
more towards
does
the
he have
center
a
of the-
business name or just his name or?
Yeah, hold on one second. Oh, come on, Dina, you can do it. Like, updated job description. That's you guys. What was this guy's name today? I must have sent it. And so he sent me an email called pricing schedule. His name is Bob Perry, Perry. And his company name is Topographics, Topographics. And he's in Hudson, New Hampshire. And his email address is bobperry@topographics.com. And I've sent you 2 attachments. One is his pricing schedule for 2022, 2023, and the other is his promotional handout. It's a 1
okay.
page.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. He's really easy to talk to, knowledgeable. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Good.
And he did say, he did bury over a couple of years, not all at once too, when he worked there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They have 7 cemeteries in Barry, so a lot of them are off in the woods.
All right. That's great news. I like that. Very encouraging.
That's what I thought. That was my like, oh, I got something done. It's funny how little it takes for us to feel good.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Review of the updated regulations that Susan had sent out. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Fairly straightforward. The blue was the additional stuff, right?
yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, I don't have any questions about this.
I think it covers most everything. I'm sure we're gonna come across something that, oh, didn't think about that one, but.
Yeah.
Well, that happens.
And then we just add them. I like the layout too. It seemed to be,
It was okay that I put gravestones and decorations at the bottom after burials.
yeah. I don't see why not. I mean,
Yeah.
because what are people looking for first? They're looking just general rules and regulations. Well, how do I purchase a plot? Am I eligible? How do I go about doing all that? And then after that's done, well, what can I put there and what can I do there? So I think that works out good. Yeah. So we should approve these revisions. These are.
I'll move to improve them.
Okay, I'll second. Any further discussion? All right, and then once we approve these can go on to the website, correct? Yes, good. All
Yeah,
right,
and I would say just hand them off to Gail and let her get them in. I've given up on the town website.
Okay.
okay. All right, so
Yes.
we have a motion.
Tell her I'll bake her something. As a
Right.
thank you, and I will, but
Yeah. So we have the motion, we have a second, no further discussion, so we'll do a roll call vote. Susan,
Yeah, aye.
Dina,
I
and I voted aye also. Very good. All right. Next is the leaf blower. I had tried doing some work on it. I couldn't get it to really work a couple weeks ago. When I was at the Hearst house the other week fixing the big mower, putting a new belt on the big mower, I remembered I had bought some parts before, got those parts, brought them home, and I said, well, I'm going to see if I can find a rebuild kit for the carburetor. And in looking at that, they actually had a carburetor for it. And the entire carburetor with, just bolt on was $72.99. So I said, something, for all the time it would take me to rebuild it, and if something other than seals and gaskets were wrong, it'd be a waste of time and money. I just bought the carburetor.
Good.
And it supposedly has been, I think it got shipped out today or yesterday. I got a notification, so we should be getting that. And I also got a $2.49 grommet for the fuel tank, so it doesn't spill fuel. At the same time, though, I figured, well, if this doesn't work, or this is resurrected again from a blower that is God knows how old, I did look at prices of backpack blowers, Husqvarna backpack blowers, and they range in price quite a bit depending on what you want them to do, what size, and whether you want to do residential or more commercial. Probably the larger of the residential ones runs 300, might as well say $350, $349.99. And the largest I would go in the commercial ones was about $500, $499.99. They can get bigger ones, but then it's starting to get so big that it's like, if we were a landscape company, yeah, that'd be something, or we had a whole lot of leaves. But we also have the walk behind blower that we bought the other year that works really well. It's just this would work in tandem with that. So the question was that we'd leave at that is how much, if we do, we want to buy a new backpack blower so we have it, and if so, how much do we want to spend? And that would come out of our our operating budget for the year, which we did not spend all of last year by far.
What do you think, Walter?
I think eventually we're going to have to pick up another one to have as a, what happens if we don't do it now and then the other one breaks halfway through the leaf season? If I get it running, I don't even know if I'll get it running. I think having an additional one is a good idea, especially if we can get more than one groundskeeper. And it's always good to have a backup of something like that gets used a lot. I mean, they use the one now for cleaning off the mowers when they get done mowing, because they get all dusty and dirty and all the grass on them. And I asked them to at least use the blower because we don't have compressed air or anything there, use the blowers to blow it off. And then that the blower hasn't been working, the mowers haven't really been getting cleaned off, which is not good for maintenance wise and a whole bunch of other things. So I really think we should have one. Like I said, the smallest I'd go was the 150 BT, which is $350, and the largest I'd go is the 560, which is basically say $500. So it's a range between $350 and $500.
Well,
And
if
that's about
lasts
the
long,
what was that? Sorry.
will the commercial last longer and do a better job?
One would think so, but it's more that it's bigger, more cubic feet per minute, faster, faster speed in the air coming out of it. And like I said, the difference in weight between the $350 one and the $500 one is maybe a pound or two. So it's not that much bigger in weight. There is also, I don't know why I didn't get the price. There was a 360 BT, and I'm just looking at that one now, and I for some reason I didn't get the price, maybe because they didn't have it in stock at the time. And it is also subject to what they have in stock if we want to just buy it down at Devon Lane. And I really don't know why I didn't write down the price of the 360, because that seemed like, like a middle range one. I think that might have actually even been the smallest of the commercial. Or maybe because that was a much older model, I'm not really sure. But
Well, we're not in a big rush to get it, right?
no, we can discuss it a little bit more, but pretty soon we are going to be in the leaf season.
Okay, the reason I say that is I think it's a good idea to get one, because if nothing else, the price is just going to go up.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking in terms of, if you think it might be smarter to get the 360, the middle one, the lowest commercial, and Devon Lane doesn't have it, can we get it online? It takes a little more time to get it, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, we can always get it online. Yeah, I'm sure. Is or order it and they get it in, because their stock is changing all the time. So
I think we should get the one that you think we ought to get, Walter, and get it as soon as we can.
all right.
I'm in agreement.
All right, so because I don't have that price in front of me, and if they don't have them, the only one left is the $500 one. could we make a motion to expend an amount not to exceed $500
Yeah,
plus tax, of course? Although we don't pay tax, we're a town, we don't pay tax, sorry. So it'd be not to exceed $500. So I'll make that motion, to purchase either a Husqvarna 360 BT or the 560 BTS. Depending on what they have in stock, at a price not to exceed $500. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Somebody needs to second that motion then.
Oh, seconded, sorry.
Okay, all right. All right, any further discussion or questions on it, or?
okay, just, I'm sorry, in terms of being the secretary and writing
Yep,
it down.
oh yeah, writing it down. Yep,
Do we need to specify which particular Husqvarna?
I don't think we do. I mean, I could specify between the two different models if you want. They're kind of limited. They go from the 560 to 570 to 580 in the commercial. And the 360 again, I'm not sure. I don't remember if it was commercial or if it was the high-end residential.
I mean, I'm guessing there's some overlap between the commercial and the high end.
Yeah,
residential.
yeah.
So I think if we leave it just general, that we're not gonna spend more than we're not obligated to spend more than $500 on a
Okay.
Husqvarna.
All right.
Or
So,
that's, then you can pick what you think is the best one.
okay.
That
So
makes sense.
I'll modify my motion to say to purchase a leaf blower, and we can even specify the Husqvarna leaf blower for the cemetery at a price not to exceed $500.
I'll second that.
Okay. Is that clear enough then, Susan?
Yep, thank you, yep.
Yep, no problem. All right, so we'll do a official roll call vote on it then. Susan,
Aye,
Dina,
Aye.
and I will vote aye also. Thank you.
thank you.
All right. And like I said, I'm still gonna try to resurrect the old one, and then we have a backup, but don't know how long that's gonna go, or if I can get it going. All right. Other unfinished business that we have, does anybody have? All
Not
right,
for me.
then there's items not anticipated 48 hours prior to the meeting. If nothing, then set the date for the next meeting.
Oh, wait, are we gonna try to meet Bob Perry before October 16th?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you
Yeah,
for bringing that back.
yeah,
Yeah, I can call him back and ask him when he can come.
all right, yeah, as long as we know at least 2 days ahead of time, we can quickly post a meeting to meet with
Yeah.
him.
And yeah, and meet with him. It's probably gonna be during the day. Walter, what works for you? Like end of the day or morning early or?
It really kind of depends, but
Is there a day of the week that's better for you?
not really.
Because we can't really meet with him without you.
Yeah.
No,
What I would say this: find out what day he can do it, and I can most likely flex my schedule,
Cool. I'll write back to him tonight.
or maybe get 2 options if he and then,
Yeah, no, I'll get him to give us a couple dates and we'll pick one that works better.
and
Okay.
a couple times.
Yeah,
Okay.
good idea, Susan.
All right. And as soon as we know that, we'll post that. But the next regular meeting would normally be the 18th. While you think about that, I'm gonna mute for a second and get this phone call.
Okay. Eighteenth works for me.
Good. I think it's okay for me. October is my having company month.
It's nuts. It's nuts. I lost my health insurance and
Ooh,
I'm trying to get it reinstated, but they want to give me a policy from Health New England where I can't see my Boston doctors. And
oh,
having this, I'm going to have to wrangle
I guess so.
in a large way. It's very interesting. Modern
Well-
problems in
Yeah.
a country that doesn't have universal health care.
Yeah. Yep. And insurance companies that rule the roost.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back.
Okay,
How are you?
All right, so what did we decide? Is the 18th good or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
6:00.
A couple minutes. Oh, yeah, you did that. Yeah.
all right, very good. I'm gonna write that down here too. So I have
Oh,
it.
Matt Patterson,
Uh,
Timberline.
October
Matt
18.
Patterson's at home.
Okay, very good.
So you're going
I guess
Excellent.
then, unless anybody has anything else, the next thing is for adjournment. All right, I'll
No.
make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote. Dina.
Hi.
Yeah, keep switching up to catch you guys on.
We like it. It's amusing in the weirdest little silly way.
Susan,
I,
and I'll vote aye also. Thank you very much. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.
There we go.
What did you say?